I'm back here in my backyard again, and I've got some company. Rodan's here with me, and so is Mr. Gray Cat. If Mr. Gray Cat doesn't stop jumping up on the table, maybe I can get through this video. I wanted to talk about the 73 and 79 gas shortages back then, 1973 and 1979. Talking about it because it just came to mind because of the high inflated gas prices we have right now. But we don't see the long lines like we did like in 1973. If I remember right, 1979 wasn't quite as bad, but 1973 was bad. And the one thing I remember about 1973 was I was at my parents' house in Gardena, and my boyfriend Ken was there. And what we did is my parents needed gas, and their Toyota, they had a light blue, baby blue Toyota, 1966. I don't think it had like a name like a Corolla. I don't think Corolla existed back then. But anyway, they think they really needed gas, and my boyfriend and I Ken and I didn't really have much to do that day or something, or that afternoon. So we went over, we took the car over to the gas station that was on the corner of El Segundo and Vermont Avenue, close to the 110 freeway. And actually, up until very recently, that's always been a gas station. It's had I think, different, Shell and Chevron or whatever, but it actually closed recent years. Anyway, we ended up getting in a line, and the line went down the block and around the corner, and so it's like we stood in line, and we're patient. We were listening to the radio and everything like other people were, and there were a couple of jackasses that tried to cut in line and stuff, but everybody, they got bullied right back out of line, so that didn't happen. It's like nobody was about to let them in. Anyway, so that's kind of what I remember. We did get a full tank. I think we got a full tank of gas when we went in. And then at some point, I think the guy from the gas station went down around the block and told people that it's like, okay, we're out of gas. It's like, this is the cutoff line, so don't bother getting more people in line. Let's see, in back then, it's like the other thing I remember about gas stations, a lot of them were privately owned. Some of them were private. Now it's all, I don't think any of them are privately owned anymore. It's all big companies, big corporations. And the one in 1979, I kind of remember that. The 73 one was more memorable because the gas lines were really worse, than 79. But what I remember about that one is they had, it was like rationed, and then also you had to, at least in California, it went by license plate number, and it was like, if you had like, if your license started or ended with a even number, you could go on these days to get gas, and if it was an odd number, you go on another day. So it's like every other day you could go and get gas, and I think it helped a little bit. I don't think it helped really that much, with the lines or anything. So that's what I remember about the gas lines. The other thing I remember is like the one, I think it was the 79 one. Gas at that point was like 99 cents. I remember as a young adult, and a teenager, that it was like 70. It was teenager. It was like 29 cents a gallon. Like in 1979, I think it was 99 cents a gallon, something like that, 98 cents a gallon. And I swear, I think it was just to push the prices over $1 so people wouldn't have like start protesting and so on about the gas prices going over $1. Because at that point, when they kind of finished with the gas shortage things, it was, even though it was at just over $1, people weren't complaining about it because they were just happy to have gas. It's like, and that's just my theory, but it's like it was just too much of a coincidence that it was 99 cents, and then it's like it got pushed over $1, and because of the so-called gas crisis. And of course, it never went down after that, because it really does come down much when it does go up. So and that's it. That's what I remember about the 73 and 1979 gas shortages.